Welcome back to His and Hers Movie Podcast. This is episode number 41, featuring a recap of our Halloween 2020. We had a Halloween marathon, our yearly Halloween marathon. We will tell you all about it. It is November 8th at the time of recording this. We are a little bit late on our recap, but I hope you guys enjoy it anyway. Halloween is an all-year-round thing for horror movie fans, so it's still fitting. I am one half of your hosting duo, podcasting out of Southwest PA, and joining me tonight, also podcasting out of Southwest PA, is Carly. What's going on?
Not too much. Yeah, Halloween is now over, but I didn't get the blues as I typically do when it ended, so I was kind of happy about that. I feel like I accepted the fact that it is November and we can move forward from here. I had a pretty good October. How about you?
Yeah, plus it's Italian Horror Month, so.
I had a pretty good October. How about you?
It was a good October. I think I ended up with 61 horror watches in October. That was pretty cool. I think that's honestly, like, I always shoot for that, but I don't know if I've ever hit 61 before, so I was pretty happy about that. Pretty much, averaging 2 films a day. Of course, the marathon really padded the run there at the end, because I think we watched 6 movies that night. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't really have the October blues, going right into Italian Horror Month, and an Italian Horror Month that I'm pretty excited for. So we have a good list of shows on 22 Shots lined up, and good guest hosts and stuff like that. So pretty good with that. And then also, it's not like blistering cold and snowy yet, so I'm not too bummed about that usually that kind of brings my mood down a little bit. I am enjoying it getting dark really early. I know you hate that, but I tend to like it.
Yeah, I hate it. Oh, God bless.
Hope that's not the COVID.
It's the bird. But yeah, no, I am not a big fan of the darkness early, to be honest. I just hate when it's 5 p.m. and I start getting that feeling like, oh my God, the day is over, and then it's like, no, it's not, it's 5 p.m., but it still feels like I should be home, like the day has ended and I need to go to bed or something, and I hate having that feeling lingering all the time. I know you don't really feel that because you just go to sleep whenever the hell you want anyway, but
well, I went to Aldi earlier. It was like 6? It was like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
No, it was 5:44 when I left the house, and it was like pitch black, like super dark, and I was like, I love this. This is awesome. Like, to me, it feels great. Like, I love the darkness. I always have my whole life. It's cool. But you know what's funny about me liking the darkness is in my house, I always have mad lights on, so it's never really dark in the house.
Well, if you lived with me, there would be mad lights off.
No, buddy.
I'm very big on, like, not wasting electric and stuff. Like, I went over to my mom's today, and every time I go over there, she has the TV on, and I could tell she wants to, like, leave it on before she leaves because of the cats or something, but she just looks at me and she's like, oh, guess I better turn this off, huh? And I'm like, yes, turn it off, we're not home.
Yeah, I like I like it being bright in the house, but I don't like it outside.
Right.
It's weird. I don't know. I love driving in the like winter time darkness, like, 'cause it's like extra black to me, and I like that. But minus the deer and all that crazy stuff. But I just like the feeling of it. Like, I went into Aldi. I went and got the stuff that I needed. I left, and it was nice and dark and cool outside. It wasn't cold. I didn't even have a hoodie on. I like that. It was dope. But I know you certainly. I think I'm in the minority on that. I think most people don't like the darkness, but I do.
It's depressing. Like, the sun actually causes you to not be as depressed, and the darkness, like, does.
See, I don't know about that, because, like, I feel most comfortable when it's like when it's like morning, like the morning sun makes me depressed, and it's like gives me a headache.
I mean, I can kind of, I more so hate if I wake up too early and I can hear birds chirping and I can see the sun kind of peeking in. That's just miserable to me, but it's not like depressing. I actually like mornings. If I was awake more during, I usually wake up early, but I lay in my bed and just screw off for like a few hours when I do that. I'm never actually up and doing things in the morning, but I always want to be, because sometimes I feel like, oh wow, I have the whole day ahead of me. But that is how I feel about the weather and darkness. Not a big fan. Don't like this time of year. I have a feeling the winter is going to be hard this year, but who knows?
Yeah. See, I think that, like, I woke up at 3 today, p.m. Got some good sleeps in. And then I watched a little bit of football and then ran to Aldi, and it was nice. I enjoy the... See, when I wake up at 3 p.m., I don't feel like the day's almost over. You know? Like, I feel like I have a whole day ahead of me.
Yeah, I would never feel that way.
But it's because, you know, I don't work until 3, usually, so my internal clock is on that time zone. Like, to me, the morning is 3 p.m. Or, well, more like 1 p.m.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And then the evening is like midnight. Like, I get home and it's like, oh, it's like 4 or 5 o'clock p.m. That's what it feels like. And then...
See,
What?
I don't know if I would... Like, I want to take, like, a job where I work the same shift as you, just as an experiment to see if I pull the same stuff that you do.
You wouldn't be able to handle it, because you would try to stick to your normal life schedule, and then you would be miserable all the time because you'd be always tired or overslept or, you know.
Well, like, I just wanted, like, that's what I'm saying. I wanted to see if I would become you or if I would stick to that schedule, because I don't know. I feel like even if... I just feel like I'm naturally tired at night, and then I naturally kind of wake up early no matter what, like even on the weekends.
It's
so.
Kind of weird, because I've been staying up late my whole entire life. Like,
yeah.
Even when I had a 7 to 3 job, or I think it was like more 8 to 4, yeah. I would stay up till midnight, 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Sometimes I'd stay up the whole night and go to work and be miserable. But even when I was in high school, 3, 4 a.m. every night, you know, and then elementary school, I'd say I had more of I would usually go to bed at like midnight or 1 a.m. usually, but I've always been, in the summers, dude, my whole life in the summers, I would stay up till like 6 a.m. and then sleep till like 6 p.m. Like, sometimes even later. Like, Shannon was the same way. My cousin, you know her. But, like, we would just stay up all night and then sleep all day. Like, I did that most of my life. So, it's kind of natural for me to want to be up late. But I'll tell you this. Working this schedule, I'm almost never tired. Like, you know that feeling whenever you go to work? Let's say you're working at 7 a.m., so you got to get up at like 5:45, 6 o'clock. And then you work 5 days in a row at 7 a.m. Usually by like Thursday or Friday, you have one of those days where you come home and like want to fall right to sleep. Like, you're just so tired and you're just miserable, and you, like, at least I did. I would come home and go to sleep, you know?
Yeah.
I've probably had like 3 of those feelings in the last 9 months.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm never tired because I feel like I always get enough sleep. Even when I only get like 4 hours of sleep or something like that. Like, let's say I stay up till like 9 a.m. and then wake up at 1 p.m. I still don't feel dead inside like I do when it's in the morning. It's so weird, and I don't know why.
Yeah,
like,
that's...
If it was up to me, I would love to keep this schedule my whole life. But it's the stuff you sacrifice is unfortunate. Like, I'm so much better when I don't have to wake up early in the morning. but at the same time, it makes hanging out with people really difficult, and also, like, kind of sucky. Like, if I had the weekends off every time, it would be better.
Yeah. Because you can't go anywhere after work.
Right.
That's scheduled.
Especially right now.
Yeah. So it's like even during regular times, it's like you wouldn't be able to go to the moves, and we love going to the moves, and just can't really go out to eat with your friends because all the restaurants are closed, and it's just, I don't know, because I kind of feel like I would probably benefit more from that schedule, because I literally want to cry every morning when I wake up. I hate waking up, especially knowing that I have to go to work and like sit there for 8 hours. Like, I hate that feeling, so I feel like I would probably benefit, but I also like to have time at the end of the day to do stuff. So,
yeah.
All in all, I just don't want to work.
I feel you.
Right.
Anything exciting go on this week?
Well, I went bowling on Friday. I got 3 strikes in a row. It was so cool. And, so that was fun. Cosmic bowling. Then yesterday
I think I did that one time.
Cosmic bowling.
Yeah.
I used to do that. That was like the thing to do back in high school. I used to have all my birthdays.
You know what ours was? The thing to do? Like, more middle school, I guess. The thing to do in high school was to, like, go party. But middle school was DeVito Park.
Skate park.
It was roller skating.
Yeah, we had, that was another, see, that was more of our middle school thing to do, but high school, we did it a little bit in high school too, went roller skating. It was in, Denora. I think it's still open. There's a roller skating rink over there, so I did that quite a bit back then.
Yeah.
Roller skating's scary. I hate, like,
I haven't
it's
done
so
that
fun.
in so long.
Yeah. What did you use the inline skates or the 4
well,
skates?
I love to use the inline skates. We call them rollerblades.
Oh yeah.
I love those, but I didn't always have them because my feet was growing. So it's kind of dangerous to buy rollerblades whenever you're like growing still. You know what I mean? Because like in like a year, your $80 rollerblades or whatever, $100 rollerblades don't fit you anymore.
Oh, well, I didn't buy them. I just rented them at the place.
See, they didn't have. You couldn't rent rollerblades. You can only rent skates.
Yeah, this skating rink, it was like just like bowling, where they just give you shoes at bowling. That's how it was at
Yeah,
skating.
they would do that with skates though, not blades.
Oh no, oh, weird.
Yeah, they only had skates.
I see.
And then they had ice skating in the other side. So
I'm not that good at ice skating.
I only did it like 2 or 3 times, and I couldn't figure it out. I was a natural with rollerblades, like, and roller skates. Like, I got pretty used to them really fast, and it was really fun. I loved to rollerblade and roller skate. And then in the winter time or in the summertime, they would let the ice out of the ice rink, and then they would let you skateboard on it, and they would have rails and kickers and stuff like that. So that was really fun. I had a lot of my first like kisses and stuff like that at that place.
I see. Can't relate. Is that place still open?
It was. Yeah, I think it is, or it was. I don't know about now this year, but my cousin was going last year. But yeah, when I was in like middle school, they did a overnight thing. It would be like the last Friday of every month, and you could go there at 6 p.m. and it ended at 6 a.m. And like you could like smoke cigarettes and some people had drugs and stuff like that, and they were like teens, you know.
Right.
And you know, you would go there to like hook up with like other teen girls, you know. Maybe not like hook up, but you know, like kiss, make out with them and touch a boob and stuff like that.
Yes. I would just go to skate probably. But yeah, that's fine that you did that.
Yeah, it was yeah. I had a friend who there was a guy who was working there, and he offered her a free pass to show her boobs to him, and she did, and got a free pass.
Gross, buddy.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah.
I don't think she ever got to use the free pass, too, because they kept canceling that overnight thing, or she wasn't available to go, but... because they expire. Anyway, so... They should set more movies in bowling alleys and skating places.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I know gutter balls. There's a scene in Cabin Fever, kind of. And then there's, what was that? There is one, a slasher set in a skate rink.
Skate rink?
I forget what
I don't know.
called. I think there might be a couple, but I can't remember. So, anything exciting? Oh, so you went bowling.
Yeah, I went
Is Cosmic Bowling at night with, like, glowy balls?
It's not like, yeah, they have, it's like all dark, and they play really trash, like, dance music from the 2000s, and,
like what?
Soulja Boy.
Like Crank That?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Soulja Boy, hell. And, like, they were, I don't know if it was, like, if people were requesting these or what, but, like, the kids next to us were, like, dancing to every song, and the one kid, like, knew every word to every song.
What's another
and we were,
song?
like, the Cupid's Shuffle and the Macarena and the freaking, what else,
Wait, I think those are 90s.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to think of other recent, Out of Nowhere they played Zombie.
Cranberries?
Yeah, it was so
that's a good
random,
song.
and then they went back to, like, rap music and stuff like that, but, there's a few okay
Did
songs,
they have
but
that
yeah,
song
it's like,
that's like, Shorty got low, 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 low?
no, buddy, Apple Bottom Jeans, that reminds me of middle school.
Reminds me of high school?
Right, it would. But yeah, it's like dark lights, and the balls aren't, well, some of the balls are glowy. It depends on what color they are. You know, it's one of those, it's like that light where if you're wearing like white clothes and light clothing, that it's gonna make it glow,
Yeah,
kind of. So
it's like neon.
I forget yeah,
like black light.
yeah, black light. That's what it is. So yeah, it's fun. It was like it's like unlimited too until they close, which they close like midnight, and we got there at 7, and me and my friend paid like to just bowl 2 times, but then the Cosmic Bowling started and another friend came, so we ended up paying again for the unlimited, which she actually paid for me because she was like, listen, if so and so shows up, then I'll just pay and we can all bowl. And I was like, that's very nice of you.
Mm-hmm.
But so we did that.
Thanks for the invite, buddy.
You were recording pod, buddy. It was Friday night pod night. But you're welcome. And then day after that, I kind of did some Christmas shopping, kind of, but completely failed because, like, going out and Christmas shopping is just a pain in the butt. And I'm just going to start ordering everything online like a hermit. I've decided, because it sucks. If I found something, stuff. And then today, I babysitted my cousin's baby for,
sat,
like...
buddy.
Babysat my cousin. No, I feel dumb. I babysat
Well, you
my
should
cousin.
feel dumb if I'm the one that's correcting your English.
Yeah, so I babysat my cousin's baby. It was me and my mom. We went over there to visit, and they wanted to go to Walmart today. So my mom's like, oh, well, were you going to take the baby? And they were like, yeah. And then she was like, well, we can just, like, watch her, because she was, like, being really good and playful, and she was, like, insisting. And I was like, yeah, I want to watch her. That's a good idea. So they leave, and first of all, I knew this was going to happen. I knew it wasn't going to be they were going to leave and come right back. Like, they were gone for, like, 3 hours, and the baby immediately started just bawling as soon as they left. And she just kept crying and crying, and then she would fall asleep, and then she would lift her head up all of a sudden and remember that she was angry and just cry more. And it was horrible. There's something's like the matter with her, I think, with her, like, she has some flappy throat problem or something. They have to get checked out, so I think she's, like, she's always hiccuping. And then you go to feed her formula, and she sucks it down like she's starving to death, and then she, like, can't breathe while she's doing it. It's just a mess. But it was funny, because as soon as they, like, pulled back in, she, like, fell asleep, so they came in, and they're like, so how was everything? And I was like,
Hell.
Yeah, I was like, she cried literally the whole time you were gone, and my cousin's like, yeah, she does that to us too. Whenever we have people over, though, she acts all normal, and then as soon as you leave the place, she's crying again. But I love her. I like babies. I'm not going to lie. I am a fan of babies, I've come to find. And I do have the magic touch because I am good at calming them down. This one's
Nice.
a little bit challenging, but it was fine. So, and now I'm here recording a pod with you.
Okay. I can't really, my week is a blank besides 22 shots. I think I just watched moves. Oh, I made some different foods and stuff like that. I made a bacon-wrapped meatloaf that turned out really good. I made a pork chop cream, like Alfredo, spinach, mushroom dish that was really good. I made chicken parmesan that turned out decent. Did I send you any other pictures of stuff that I made?
Well, you didn't send me a pic, but you made that beef stew.
Oh yeah, I made beef stew that turned out really good. Yeah, that was a lot of beef stew. I'm burnt out on beef stew, yeah, for sure. I had 3 massive bowls of beef stew in like 2 days. And then yeah, I'm going to make patty melts tomorrow.
What's that?
What's that noise?
It is the Siren Buddy. Tell me more about your patty melts. Melts.
A patty melt?
Yes.
It's like a it's basically a cheeseburger but with like bread. It's like a grilled cheeseburger essentially.
Sounds good.
Yeah. I got this cheddar cheese from Aldi that looks pretty good. So normally I go with like American, but this is like a smooth white cheddar. Try that out.
Yes, you are a chef.
I cook decent. I think I cook decent. I just get... The problem with me is like I always, it's so much cheaper to buy ingredients that in bulk, right? Like you can't really buy 1 pork chop, right? So you buy 4. But the problem is if it's only me eating, then I get burnt out by like the 3rd one, like so I don't like leftovers. I'm not a huge fan of leftovers. Like I made pork chops last night, just regular pork chops, nothing special. And I actually ate pork chops and egg whites. And I ate 2 of them, and they were really good. And then I had 2 left over that I ate a little bit ago today. And I was just like, by the 4th, the 4th total one, I ate 2 of them. I was just like, they were like grossing me out. I'm just like, ugh. Plus, no food ever tastes good after you put it in the fridge and eat it the next day. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of eating. Honestly, that meatloaf was probably the best leftover food out of all the stuff that I made recently.
Yeah, dude, I agree. I don't really like leftovers too much. I just get grossed out. Even if it's, just one day afterwards, I just feel like it's old food at that point. And I have that problem too. Like, I buy all these chicken, and the thing is, for me, since I live alone too, I really don't make any sides. So it's like,
Same.
I'll just eat like 2.5 chickens for dinner.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I need to get more on sides because that would help me a little bit. But I save so much money when I cook my own food. It's insane. Like, I'm so sick of eating out and like getting food after work. But it's so much more convenient. But I have saved like hundreds of dollars a month by cooking my own food. I mean, I say that like it's like some mysterious thing, but everybody in the world knows that.
Yeah.
Like, guys, you should try this. Instead of spending $10 on Taco Bell after work, if you just bought food for the month and cooked your own meals, you would save money. Like, yeah, everybody knows that. My thing also is like with cooking is I hate when I have like leftover recipe stuff. Like that Alfredo stuff I made, I have a whole carton of heavy cream left, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. What do you use heavy cream for? You know what I mean? So I gotta figure that out, and then, or else I just waste it, you know? I have like about a month and a half, I think. It's good too. And then I like, it's weird. I get like really in the mood for something, and then like get grossed out by it. Like, for a while there, like a couple months ago, I was like heavy into egg whites. Like I would eat egg whites like every day. And then I bought a container of egg whites, and I didn't open it. It just went bad, and I threw it away. And now I bought another one, and I'm like into it, and I almost used the whole container. And I'm like, I bought the small one, and I'm like, I wish I would have bought the big one, because I'm really into these now. I'm a big fan. I love egg whites, but then I get burned out.
That's how I feel like when I'm looking up new recipes. I'm like, oh, this looks so good, and then I think about it all week, and then I buy the ingredients to finally make it, and then I don't feel like eating it.
Right.
So that is Cooking 101 with J Pig and Carl.
Okay. Besides that, didn't do anything too special. So I guess, should we get into the stuff that we watched?
Yes, we shall.
So technically it would be my week for the, because I'm a week behind for the blind spot, so you go first. Also, what was the last thing that I watched?
Let me see. Wait, is it real? Are you sure it's your week? I thought you.
It would be. My week was last week, but we postponed it.
Okay. The last thing that I have that you watched was Halloween 2009. Halloween 2, that is.
Okay, so I guess that. Well, you know what? I'll go first, since technically, yeah, it is your technical.
Yeah.
For blind spot. Okay,
right.
So the last thing I reviewed was Halloween. What?
Halloween 2 and like Halloween, Rob Zombie's 2 Halloween.
Do you know what's weird? I don't remember recording last week's episode.
Well, we did it right after we made all that food at like 2 a.m.
Oh, so we did it. Okay, yeah.
On Friday.
Okay. Okay, so Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. We did come play, right?
Yeah, that was our feature review, yeah.
Okay, so after I left your house, I went home and I watched Halloween 1978.
No, you didn't. We watched that together.
Yeah, duh. I totally forgot. Yeah, we like half watched it. We didn't watch it like super hardcore, but yeah. It's a classic. I mean, it's one of the best, right? For once this year, I got my 31 Days of Horror all finished up and had time to actually watch the Halloween movies. Because, as you know, I think I reviewed the Halloween films in the first or second year of 31 Days that I did. So, obviously, I can't watch them and review them, but for the first time ever for the first time ever, I finished early. Like, I'd recorded all the videos, like, by the 29th, I think.
Yeah.
So, pretty impressive. Oh, you didn't even give me props for finishing 31 Days of Horror.
I forgot, because I was going to at the beginning of the ep, but I think you changed the subject or something.
I did all 31 days, and I did 16 days before that, so what's that? Like, 47 days?
Yeah. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Good job, buddy.
Impressive. 47 days straight.
Yeah, you did it. Good job.
Yep.
Proud.
Next year, I'm pre-recording, so I could completely enjoy my Halloween.
But dude, I don't know if you realize this. The only 2 years you succeeded on were years where you didn't pre-record. You know?
I have never pre-recorded before.
I thought you pre-record.
I pre-record a couple.
Yeah, buddy. What?
I pre-record a couple.
No, like last year was the dumbest one because you're like pre-recording and then you're all like Halloween or 31 Days of Horror bonus review, and then you didn't even finish the 31 Days of Horror the regular. So why wouldn't that have been No, I swear you pre-recorded, because then that one year you were all stressed out and having a bad year, and then you're like, I'm never going to be able to do it, and then you did it, and you finished the whole thing, and then it's like other years when you have time is when you fail.
Yeah, I feel you. Okay, so Halloween is a great movie. I don't think there's too much to say about it. I enjoyed watching it. It's a 10 out of 10. Then I went home and I watched Halloween 2, 1981. The original sequel. Isn't it weird that there's 3 Halloween 2s, but there's only 2 Halloween 1s?
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
It's like there's 3 Halloween 2s, but there's 3 movies called Halloween, but the one called Halloween is actually Halloween, a Halloween sequel, yeah. But it should be called Halloween 2, but if it was called Halloween 2, that would not make sense either, so it's stupid.
It is.
I didn't like it.
Halloween 2, 1981. We were talking about this one, and I sent you a video of me watching it, and what was it? What was the video of me watching it?
It was horrible. It was like a ruined version of the best line of the move, or some of the best dialogue of the move, rather. It was, Dr. Loomis, he's like, I shot him 6 times, and then he goes to the neighbor, and he's like, what's going on out here? And then Loomis is all like, what does Loomis say? Like, call the police, and then he just runs away.
Yeah.
I think. That's how it went down.
Yeah. I don't know why they cut out, like, the other stuff.
Like, what's the point of cutting that out? Yeah. That was like it's just an iconic line that was cut
I
out.
love that line. He's like,
yeah.
What's going on out here? and
I've been trick-or-treated to death tonight.
I've been trick-or-treated to death tonight. You don't know what death is! And then the music kicks in.
Yeah, the music.
I love it. That's my favorite scene in Halloween 2, I think.
Yeah.
It's right at the beginning.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, the reason that you heard a different line is because, first of all, I popped in the Blu-ray. I have the nice 15-disc box set from Screen Factory, which was covered in dust, by the way, because I haven't took it off the shelf in 4 years. I went and popped it in, and then I'm like, man, I remember this transfer looking much better. But I thought I was watching it on a different TV too, so I didn't really pay it no mind. And then that line happens, and I'm like, wait a minute. And then I was like, wait, isn't the TV cut also in this case? And I looked, and sure enough, I popped in the DVD of the TV cut, because the TV cut's only on DVD.
It was a DVD, I didn't, that's funny.
Yeah, so I watched, I was too lazy to get up and take it out, so I watched Halloween 2 without any of the gore and stuff. And it also has a different ending. I don't know if you know that or not.
Yes, I do know that. I've seen it on TV before, and I've seen that ending. Mm-hmm. But it is where they have both lived at the end.
Yep.
And that moron did not crack his head open.
And then I watched Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, 1982. Of course, 2 more days till Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. 2 more days till Halloween.
Shut up.
Which is London Bridge, essentially.
Yeah.
Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, 1982. It's a personal favorite of mine. It's a close film to my heart because this is the first Halloween I ever seen.
Damn.
Yep. And in fact, I used to watch it all the time. I lived in an apartment complex, and the neighbor, like, up above me became friends with my mother, and their name was Doc and Lori. It was an older dude and an older woman. And they had an entire wall full of VHS tapes, and it was like my own personal rental store. So I would go up there and pick a tape, and they would let me borrow it, and then I would watch it. And it was funny because my mom, like, you know, my mom, she didn't really care about anything. So, like, I would, like, finish a tape at, like, 3 in the morning and then go knock on their door and wake them up to pick a new tape.
Dude, I would kill you.
But they really didn't. They weren't really mean about it. They liked.
Dude, I hate kids so much. I hate other people's kids. I love my own blood, but I would hate. I just picture your annoying ass coming up to my door and knocking at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
I'd be calling the cops.
I used to rent Halloween 3 from them all the time. And in fact, I watched it so much that whenever I watched like any of the other Halloweens, I hated them. I was just like, oh, it's stupid. This Michael Myers thing is stupid. It's just Jason, but not as good.
All right.
Yep. And it wasn't until I was probably 16 that I actually appreciated the first Halloween.
See, for me, it was quite the opposite. My mom would always be like, well, yeah, just don't watch Halloween 3, it's stupid. They don't even have Michael Myers in it. And I remember being a kid and be like, do they have, like, Dr. Loomis in it? And she's like, no, none of them are in it. And I was like, well, that's stupid. And then I never watched it until I was, like, older. Well, it would be on TV every once in a while, and I would catch bits and pieces, but it wasn't until, like, in recent time that I watched it all the way through. And, I can't say I'm, like, a huge fan of it. I mean, I do like it and appreciate it, and I think it has a great Halloween atmosphere, but it still hasn't, like, grown as it has for other people.
I think that...
I feel like I love the beginning part. What?
You were cutting out. I love, like, one of my favorite parts is the end, actually. Stop it. What does he say? Stop it.
Stop it. Stop it.
Stop it. Gotta turn it off.
Stupid.
Gotta turn it off. I love that.
Yeah.
But like, I think the movie's, like, some people love it, and then they're like, I feel like they're a little biased on it, and like think that it's like an amazing movie. It's really not. Like,
yeah,
the plot is stupid. It really is. And like, this guy's master plan is to basically take Stonehenge and like use the Celtic powers of it to like melt these kids' heads off all across the world with this little patch, this little tag that's on the mask. Well, what if like most people take those tags off?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like all those, nobody would still be rocking the tag.
Yeah.
So his plan was flawed.
Yeah.
But I love the Silver Shamrock thing. I love the town has a good Halloween atmosphere. One of my favorite scenes is them like trick-or-treating all across the country. Mm-hmm. Love it, love it, love it. There's really like one great moment in it with the kid's head melting and like the bugs and snakes. I remember when I was a kid, I just didn't understand. I didn't understand the plot at all. I just knew that kid's head melted from that mask, and it was scary. But yeah. So yeah, good movie. I really like Dr. Chalice. We met him, Tommy motherfucking Atkins, the man.
Yeah.
Really cool dude. So yeah, after that I went to sleep. Then we had our Halloween marathon, which I watched all those moves. And then I went home and I decided to hop on board with Italian Horror Month. And I watched Suspiria on 4K.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
It might be my new favorite 4K release, not gonna lie.
Damn, okay.
And I used to like have issues with the movie. I just thought it was like nothing special because it's like, okay, it's pretty to look at, but like the story's like kind of basic. But I don't know, I've completely fallen in love with it. It's just, I love the way the music is. I love the whispers that are in the score. I love how creepy, like I heard somebody say it one time. I don't know where, it was in a documentary or something like that, and it shows the scene. Oh yeah, I think it's in 100 Scariest Movie Moments. And I think it's Eli Roth who says it, where he's like, you know, Dario Argento managed to make a girl walking through a bus station like horrifying.
Yeah.
Because at the beginning of the movie, Susie Bannon's like walking through the bus station. It's like pouring down rain. She gets in the cab and stuff. But that music playing is so unsettling. And I think the opening of this film is like genius. Just like all the like the murder is like iconic with the hanging, and then also like just the rain and like the camera like in the woods with all the trees and the colors and everything, and they're so colorful, beautiful movie. Just looks great on 4K. I love it. It's a great movie, man.
Yeah, I know.
It's so good.
I never watched that Synapse Blu-ray that I won from 22 Shots. I need to watch that.
Oh.
Maybe I shall.
Alright, after that, we got Do You Like Hitchcock? Which is, I'm going to be very brief on these because we cover them on 22 Shots. You will actually hear that episode before this episode is released. So that episode is out right now while you're listening to this, so check that out. But we had a special guest, Dave Z, making a long-awaited return to the podcast. And it was an awesome episode. All I got to say is me scusi. Me scusi.
What?
Yeah, you'll know. I guarantee you laughed during that episode. It was funny.
Alright, good.
It's Do You Like Hitchcock, which is Dario Argento's third to last film, not counting the Masters of Horror stuff. And it is a... Do you know anything about this movie?
No, I always wondered what the heck it was, because the title was so weird.
It's actually kind of cool. It follows a film fan who's writing a thesis on movies or something like that, and he is it's a TV movie, by the way, but there is nudity and violence in it, so it's like, can't tell. He goes to the local video store, but at this point in 2005, oh, by the way, this is a Survive 05.
Whoa.
Yeah, so...
Man, I typed in Italian horror moves from 05 to kill two birds with one stone, and this did not come up. Nothing came up.
Yeah, this is a Survive 05, buddy, so definitely check it out.
Alright.
So it follows... this guy goes to this video store. Now, the video store is like DVDs now, you know, because it's 2005. So it's so fun looking at all the DVDs. Like, I see like Cradle to the Grave and like Kill Bill and like all these like movies that had just come out, and it's really cool. But there's also other stuff like Session 9 and wait a minute, Session 9. Oh yeah, that came out early, right? Like 2001.
2000, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
At first I was like, wait a minute, didn't that come out in like 2009 or something?
Yeah, 2000.
But yeah, so that's cool. And there's like posters for Argento movies and like The Birds and Psycho and stuff like that. Now, the title, you might be wondering, okay, what is Do You Like Hitchcock?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it actually is in the film. So, first of all, this movie is like a mashup of a couple other Hitchcock movies. It's partial Rear Window, partial Strangers on a Train, and partial Dial M for Murder. There's a reference to Psycho as well in there, and maybe a couple of other Hitchcock films. But this guy starts noticing this girl that lives next to him also goes to this video store. She lives in like the apartment across the street and down, so he can see her from his apartment. And she becomes friends with this other girl, and then the mother of the girl is murdered, and he's sort of investigating and like spying and thinks that the girl might be involved with her mother's death, because in Strangers on a Train, which is what the two girls talk about, it has something to do with, like, I've never seen it, but I think it has something to do with two people meeting and like, I'll kill someone for you if you kill someone for me type thing.
I see.
Yeah, so it's sort of like a bit of a Giallo type thing after that, you know, sort of a investigative thing, but it's very akin to Rear Window, because it's this dude who is like watching the girl from his apartment, and also he injures his leg at one point in the film and even references Rear Window.
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
I really liked it. It's not an amazing movie, but I liked it.
Mm.
And then I watched, as a bonus for Italian Horror Month, This is not one of the main films we were covering, but I just wanted to check it out because I got the Blu-ray for Secret Satan. Cannibal Apocalypse. Have you ever seen it?
No, I don't really want to watch a movie that has titles like that.
Why, buddy?
I don't like cannibalism.
It's
gross.
It's not really that much cannibalism. It's more like zombies, honestly.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, Cannibal Apocalypse from 1980. This movie has quickly become one of my favorite Italian horror films. It's not a Giallo at all, buddy.
Okay.
It is a... I got the Blu-ray from Kino. So, yeah. It has John Saxon. He's the lead.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you like John Saxon.
Yeah, did he die?
Yes.
Yeah, he died.
He died recently.
R.I.P.
John Saxon, it opens up and it's set in Vietnam, but it's a really quick scene. And basically, there's a couple of POWs that John Saxon is trying to rescue, and then one of them bites him, and he wakes up from a nightmare from that memory. Then he gets a call from one of the people that he rescued, and they have just got out of a mental hospital. They've been in there since like Vietnam, and John Saxon's like kind of worried about him. And then that guy goes to a movie and sees a movie and then bites a girl on the throat, and then like runs out of the store and goes to like a thrift store, and he like barricades himself in there with a shotgun and like is like killing people, and it's like a police standoff. So John Saxon goes to try to like calm him down out of the thing, you know, like talk him down. And then they basically are on the run and stuff like that, but they're infected with some kind of infectious like cannibal disease or something. It's essentially like an infected zombie film, but they're not dead. You know, they're like can talk and are like regular, but they have a thirst for flesh. You know.
Yeah.
I think it's incredibly cool how they like tie in. You know, this is essentially PTSD. This is people coming home from Vietnam that have something wrong with them. I thought it was super neat. You know, I love stuff like that. It's like right up my alley. Obviously, Jacob's Ladder is a great film. Death Train, great film. There's a handful of other ones that deal with that, but yeah, this is a really fun movie. I give it an 8 out of 10.
Nice. That doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah, I think you would actually like that one. Then I watched Giallo, which is the second to last Dario Argento film that we're covering next week. This one stars Adrian Brody, who's like incredibly miscast. This was quite controversial on 22 Shots. Very split, differing opinions. But I will let you listen to that. I'll just say what it's about. It follows Adrian Brody, who is trying to track down a killer known as Yellow. And he has sort of a liver disorder, so his skin is really yellow. Kind of like the Black Christmas remake.
Jaundice. Or, I don't know if it would be... Whatever, yeah.
It could be. It's either that,
yeah.
or like they mentioned hepatitis in there too, so it could be something like that.
This movie looks like trash bags.
What, Giallo?
Yeah. Just the cover of it.
Well, there's multiple covers of it.
Yeah, all the covers look like...
No, the one looks really good. The one with the yellow knives and the red knife.
Oh, yeah, that one's good. I'm talking about the ones where their faces are on it. It just looks like a really bad... It looks like a comedy.
It looks like a crime thriller.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and then, honestly, this is it. I've only watched one other film, and it was Dracula 3D, which is the last Argento movie, which is essentially just a Dracula film, but in 3D. I will say this. It has some of the worst CGI in a movie of this caliber. I think it had like a $10 million budget or something like that. Like, I'm not joking. The CGI is atrocious. But I also think that there are some... this is obviously Argento's most hated film. I think that is possibly wrong. I actually don't think it's his worst film. There's just major issues with the 3D. But honestly, it looks better. Like, besides the CG, like if you just take all the CG scenes out of it, well, it would be boring because there'd be no kills and stuff like that, probably. But if you just look at the movie, the outside of that, it's actually one of Argento's best looking movies since, like, Stand Hall.
Dang.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird, man. But yeah, so check out 22 Shots. It was a great time talking about those three. And that's it for Argento. I've seen, if you count the Masters of Horror, I've seen 20 movies of his. The only one I've never seen is Two Evil Eyes. That's the only film I haven't seen of his. That's a George Romero and Argento film. It's an anthology. Just 2 stories though.
Oh, okay. You gave me that one, I think.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it yet.
Because I meant to buy the 3-discer, and I was just going to give you that one. And the 3-discer went like super expensive, and I just haven't got it yet. So now I'm just waiting to see if they release it on 4K since it's Blue Underground.
Well, I'm so sorry. I'll just give it back then.
Okay.
Well, alright.
You're getting coal.
Dude, come on, dude. I've been
You're getting
good.
coal for Christmas.
I've been good this year.
Have you?
Yeah?
I don't believe you.
I haven't outbursted in like a long time, I don't think.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see what Santa says.
Oh. Alright. So it's my turn now?
Yep.
Alright, I'm kind of bummed now, but okay. Alright, so you start off.
Jeez, dude, how many do you have?
What?
You're taking forever.
I didn't even breathe yet.
That's it, you're getting coal.
Dude, come on. You're trying to set me up.
Alright, start. I gotta go get a drink. Go ahead.
Alright, dude, I'll just talk to myself like I always do. Okay. So, first up, I watched It Lives Again, It's Alive 2. Or It's Alive 2, It Lives Again. Whatever you want to call it. From 1978. I actually watched It's Alive, the first one, way back at the start of the year. I got the box set from Derek, I think, for last Christmas. Yes. So thank you to him. You know, the Scream Factory box set, that was pretty cool. And I watched the first one, and then, like, you know, just didn't get around to watching the sequel, so finally I had some free time here and decided I'm going to check out those 2 sequels, because I dig the first one. I think it's a fun film. And It's Alive 2, or It Lives Again, from 1978. Basically, you know, it's following this new couple who, you know, they're pregnant, and the lady's about to give birth, and the Davis, the father from the first movie, Mr. Davis, comes around again and is trying to warn her, believing that, you know, her baby's going to come out all screwed up because his did, and he kind of tells the whole story of that to her, and he's kind of warning her, and she's like, no, it's going to be born normal, I swear. And then, of course, it's not born normal, and they kind of end up like in this facility trying to test what's going on with these mutated babies. Yeah, this movie was actually pretty fun too. I liked it, I'd say, almost as much as the first one, and I thought it was cool. I never really hear anyone talk about these movies a whole lot, so I didn't know if the sequels were good or trash. I never really heard people's opinions on them, I feel. But I enjoyed it. I like how they get the father to come back from the first one into this movie, and feels kind of a lot of the same stuff, but I'm fine with that because it's, you know, just as fun. I like the whole mutated baby. I always like the look of the babies in these films. They're ridiculous, but just the effects they do is really intriguing to look at. So it was a good time. I gave that like a 7 out of 10. And then right after that, I watched It's Alive Part 3. This one came out in 1987, aka Island of the Alive, I believe it's called, or Island of the Living. No, I think it's Island of the Alive. Yeah, this one is a little, you know, a little more off the wall. Basically, there's like a whole courtroom type of thing going on where they're trying to say, like, these babies are babies and they deserve to be treated as humans and given a chance, but it's like, people are like, they're bad and they're killing people and they're not good. So, these mutated babies are court-ordered to go stay on this island, and, this dude and a crew end up going to the island because they just think it's unjust, and things kind of go from there. The movie is definitely a step down. It goes full on ridiculous with this one for sure. Not that the other ones weren't ridiculous, but this one's just, I mean, obviously it's an island with these babies, so it's going to be a little bit more on the goofy side. I enjoyed it still. I don't think it's great by any means, but it was a little bit, it was teetering on being a little bit too goofy for my liking, because I'm just not that into that type of stuff when it gets super outlandish, but it was still an alright film, honestly. I think all the It's Alive movies are pretty fun, and I am happy to own that box set, so thank you again to Derek. I gave It's Alive 3 5, I think. 5 or 5.5. I think I gave it like a 5 out of 10. So, yeah, that is that one. And then after that, we have as per my Survive 05, The Beast of Bray Road. Found this one on Tubi. Been kind of just going through Tubi to find these 05 movies and clicking whichever ones seem interesting.
Which one's this called?
The Beast of Bray Road.
Oh, yeah. Is it a Bigfoot film?
It's like not really Bigfoot, it's like, it is like an urban legend film. I guess it's based off a real urban legend of this beast that people reported seeing on this road, but it's not like necessarily Bigfoot. It's kind of like a werewolf-looking creature type thing, but not quite. But it's kind of the same, in the same caliber. Yeah, but like I said, it's about a beast that is kind of lurking on this road and attacking people, pretty much mauling them, and you have this crew of people trying to figure out what it is and capture it and stuff like that. And this is an asylum film, I will say. So, you know, that company doesn't make the best of movies, but I thought it was a fun time. You know, it feels low budget. The thing that sucks is, like, I think it's like pretty creepy idea, creepy legends, and if they could have made the monster look better, it would have been great, but it just looks very cheesy and not that good and kind of laughable, because it shows like close-ups of its face and it just not look that great. So for that, I didn't really care for that too much, but all in all, it wasn't bad. It was a basic like monster or creature, Bigfoot, but werewolf type of film, and it had some decent atmosphere. Not the best characters, kind of like throwaway characters, but it was okay. I gave this like a 5 out of 10 as well, I think. Maybe like a 5.5, somewhere around there. It was just alright. Then after that, as per my Italian Horror Month, hashtag Italian Horror Month, I watched Lady Frankenstein from 1971. And this is a move that I got in a 5-pack of movies from Dollar Tree. It was called a Cult Classics collection. It had Lady Frankenstein, Silent Night, Bloody Night, which was a 72 move, and a movie called The Terror with, I think, Jack Nicholson. I'm trying to think. There was...
Yeah, it's a public domain movie.
Yeah, okay. Then there was two, there was like, there was one of the, I think, last Dracula, like, Hammer Dracula films with Christopher Lee.
Satanic Rites of Dracula?
Yeah, that one. And then there was one other one on that set, I forget what it is, but kind of a cool set, honestly. Kind of not bad movies by any means, I would say. But Lady Frankenstein, essentially, is about, you have Dr. Frankenstein working on a monster. It's pretty much like Frankenstein, but the thing with this one is his daughter comes to stay with him, and she kind of has this, like, sort of sadistic way about her, just like this personality. She's really intrigued by all the things her dad does, and like death and stuff like that. And he creates the monster comes to life and ends up, you know, going a little berserk. He kills the dad and runs off into the night. And so the daughter decides, like, hey, I gotta do something about this. So she makes a monster, basically, to try to combat that one and defeat it and make everything right again. So it's pretty much Frankenstein, but you have the daughter of Frankenstein, and she makes a monster too. I thought it was actually pretty cool. Looks like a potato. The quality of it was very bad, but I kind of like that too. It reminded me, it looked like a silent film. Like, that's how bad the quality of it is. But I thought it was kind of cool in a way. It was like very atmospheric to watch it late at night in my room. And the look of Frankenstein, I dug it. It was or the Frankenstein's monster, whatever. I thought he was creepy. And like I said, it's pretty much just like Frankenstein, except for there's like nudity and stuff like that. There's a scene where a lady gets thrown into the water that kind of mimics like the little girl being thrown into the water in the original movie, but it's like a full-grown woman and she's completely naked. So it's I thought that was kind of funny, but I enjoyed the move. I liked it quite a bit. I gave it a 7 out of 10. And then after that, and this is the last move that I watched The Cleansing Hour from 2020, because I've seen people talk about this, and I have not watched a lot of the Shudder 2020 movies, so I've been kind of scrolling through them, and I'm gonna start going through them, because there's a ton on there. But The Cleansing Hour is pretty much about this group of people. You have this guy who is a supposed exorcist, and him and his crew do these live streams of them performing exorcisms on people, but it's all staged. Like, you know that right away. It's completely faked. He's a total phony, and they just do it for entertainment purposes.
So it's like the last exorcism.
Yeah, actually, that's what it reminded me of at first, the whole premise. It's fake, and it's just...
If you don't comment on it.
What?
Nothing.
I'm trying to give a review, buddy. I heard the burp, and I was trying to, like, block it out. Because we're trying to be professional here.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, so... but yeah, I got last exorcism vibes from it, for sure. But... because even that, like, it's kind of similar, because it's like the dude's doing the exorcism. He has this one staged one, and the actress who was supposed to be
Kind of be light on the plot of this one, because I want to check it out.
All right, well, it's not. It's like a plot. Like, this is something you would read off IMDb. Like, it tells you all this stuff happens. Basically, it turns into like a real deal type of situation, and everyone is trying to get out of it. And it was a pretty cool movie. I thought it was fun. Interesting idea, definitely. I like the whole idea of the whole web broadcast, and it's being done live, and all these you see all these people kind of watching it happen. And I wouldn't say it was necessarily scary. I was hoping it would be creepy and scary, but it's not really like that. It's more so kind of a fun movie. It has decent effects and stuff like that, but I thought it was cool. It's definitely one that I would say watch for this year. So I gave it an 8 out of 10. And that is my moves.
Oh, that's it?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So, blind spot.
Yes.
My blind spot was My Cousin Vinny, which I just gotta say, you were incredibly misleading on this film.
How?
First, Danny DeVito isn't in this movie.
I didn't say Danny DeVito was
You said Danny DeVito this whole entire time.
I said, no, you're stupid. It's not Danny DeVito. You're thinking of that movie Twins or something.
No. You said
Yeah.
Danny DeVito was in this.
I've never said Danny DeVito was in
You said you'll like this. You like Danny DeVito.
No, I didn't. When have you ever told me you like Danny DeVito, for one thing?
I never have. That's why I don't understand why you said it.
I didn't.
Okay, dude. Second, you never told me Fred Gwynn plays a really good judge in this movie.
I told you Fred Gwynn's in the movie, yes.
And then 2, or 3, what am I on now? 5.
What?
You didn't tell me that Ralph Macchio is in this movie.
I did, yes. Pretty much all this stuff you're saying has been documented on the pod in previous eps.
And number 19, you never told me that Joe Pesci was in this.
Buddy!
What?
I told you were mistaking Joe Pesci with Danny DeVito.
Why would you tell me Danny DeVito then if it was Joe Pesci?
I didn't.
Do you not know the difference? Anyway. So, this movie here... Oh, and by the way, it's a courtroom drama, which I like. So, it basically follows this character, Ralph Macchio, and his buddy. They're these Italian kids from New York, and they're passing through this Alabama town. Is it Alabama?
Oh, I don't remember. I think so.
It's one of those southern towns.
Yeah.
And there's a murder that happens at a gas station they were just at, and Ralph Macchio steals a can of tuna while he's in there. So the police pull him over, and they take him to jail, and he like confesses to stealing the can of tuna, but it's done in this really funny comedic way where like they're asking him questions that could both be answered by, you know, like stealing the can of tuna or murdering somebody. Like they're vague enough to where the same question and answer could apply to it. And it's really funny because he's like, you know, he's like, yeah, I did it, and I'm sorry. He's like, you did it. And he's like, yeah, you know, I just wasn't thinking, you know.
Yeah.
And it's really funny. Like, I love that part. Then they realize they're being booked for murder, and they're all freaking out, and they need a lawyer and stuff. And he finds out that his cousin Vinny is a lawyer. And his cousin Vinny comes down, and it's Joe Pesci. And he really is not a lawyer. Like, I forget what the details are, but he basically isn't, like, a lawyer, you know, like he started becoming a lawyer, but he's like not, I don't think he's like officially accredited or whatever.
Yeah, I think he like went to school and then quit or something.
Yeah. And you know, of course he's Italian, and everybody keeps giving him a hard time in this town and stuff like that. And Fred Gwynn is so good as the judge. I love him. He's one of the highlights of the movie, because he's this super stern judge, and Vinny is like this like New Yorker and just fish out of water. It's a good movie. I really liked it. It's definitely one of your better picks. Way better than The Wedding Singer.
Well, buddy, I am glad that you liked it. I'm still hurt by The Wedding Singer, but I'm glad you liked this. There's so much. I just love it. Like, me and my mom always watch this one. A lot of these movies I like watched with my mother growing up. They're like nostalgic in that way.
It wasn't that funny. I'll say that. It wasn't that
Dude,
funny. What?
It's so funny.
No,
That part where that owl keeps hooting and he just goes out and shoots a gun into the air, and the owl's just
that's
in the
funny.
tree. And then one part reminds me of like when you get annoyed at me whenever the wife's like, or his girlfriend's like giving him a hard, or no, she like has those pictures she wants to show him, and he's like, oh wow, you cracked the case, me in the shower, and he's like all irritated because like she's like,
so you're saying I'm a dick.
yeah, it's funny. And then what else? Oh, and then Fred, like the judge is funny. Another part that reminds me of you is when he's all like the two youths. And the judge is like, the two what? That reminds me of when you say something like to somebody. Dude, when you say something to Jeremy
that part
in the comments
was funny
or something.
as hell because like, it's because Joe Pesci has already moved on past it, and he's like, "What did you say?" And he's like, he can't even remember what he said. That happens to me all the time. Where I'm like, what? When? Like, it's just that is played so awkward and great. But he's like, the two youths, and he's like, "What did you say?" And he's like, the two or something. And he's like, no, after that. He's like youths. And he's like youths. What is youths? And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, youths. Yeah, that part's funny. But I didn't think it was like overly funny. Like there's not a lot of moments like that for me.
I mean, it's not a laugh out. It's not like super bad where it's in your face comedy. It's just kind of like tapered in there. But I always found it hilarious.
I didn't really mind that there wasn't a joke every 2 minutes. Like I liked the story. It was fun. I liked it. I was genuinely curious to see how, you know, freaking dude was gonna pull this off. You know, I wanted to know what was gonna happen. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, sorry, I'm like burping.
Right.
Yeah, sorry.
Did you ever see Legally Blonde?
No.
That is a courtroom drama too.
Legally Blonde.
No, you would hate that movie. I don't even like it that much. I'm just saying.
Anyway, so what?
What would you rate that move?
Oh, that move. What would I rate that move? I would probably rate that move probably like an 8 to an 8.5.
Cool.
I really dug it. I think it's a classic.
I want to watch it again. I'm glad you liked it, buddy. I am good. So I guess I'll give my blind spot.
Yeah.
Okay, so my blind spot was Babe from 1995.
Babe.
This Babe.
Babe. Big in the city.
Shoot, I typed it in. I was like, really? There was a Babe too?
Yeah, Big in the city.
What's that? Is that one stupid? It sounds really stupid.
I've never seen it.
Oh, 1998. That one. Oh, I thought. I don't know. But yeah, Babe. Yeah, it is pretty much a comedy drama about this little piglet who gets adopted by this farmer and taken back to his farm where there's a lot of other different animals. You know, you have dogs and you have ducks and sheep and whatnot. And the little piglet's like there, and he's trying to find his way. You know, all the other animals like are a little annoyed by him at first. You know, he's a typical little piglet, and then you know, it's pretty much the whole movie. He's trying to like fit in and stuff. And there's a few mentions in the movie where it's like, you're a pig and you don't really have much use, and pretty much you are just here to get ate. You're going to be killed and ate. And the pig's like, no. And but he pretty much starts learning to herd sheep, and he is decent at it. And that is how the move goes. And there's a sad part in the movie, which I expected. But this movie ain't no Charlotte's Web, I'll tell you that. It was an okay move. No, I mean, it's a good movie. I do like, I don't know, animal movies make me sad, kind of. But, and pig movies make me sad too, because I hate that, like, pigs just get, like, slaughtered and eaten. My aunt and uncle had, like, pigs once, and I know they, like, butchered them, and it made me really sad.
It is pretty sad.
Like, it's depressing because it's like, there's like, these movies are depressing because there's like truth behind them. Like, you know, there's that animal saying like, you're just a pig and like, you're just here to get eaten, and it's sad because it's like, that's actually true. Like, that's what people do to pigs. And then there's a sad little part with like an attack, and I thought it was rather upsetting. But then the movie does have a happy little ending, and there's like, oh, well, there's this one part that I was annoyed by because I thought it was really cute where the piggy's, like, laying on the farmer and he's, like, petting him and, like, starts, like, singing the song to him real lightly, and it's, like, all, like, I almost teared up. And then all of a sudden the farmer gets up and starts dancing, and it's, like, really cringe. But it is, like, a kid's movie, so whatever. That's, I guess, to be expected.
I don't remember, like, I watched this back in, like, 2006 one time, and it was like the only one that I was like struggling when I was making your list. I wanted to give you a kids movie, but you'd seen Land Before Time, right?
I mean, I barely remember it, so you probably could have gave it to me since all your blind spots have been movies that you just saw and didn't remember. But yeah, I
oh, by the way, I've seen parts of My Cousin Vinny for sure.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I don't think I've seen the whole movie though.
Like what part?
Just like the courtroom stuff when it was on. I remember, like, I've definitely seen that. Like probably where I seen it was like my pap was watching it or somebody in the house or something.
Fair
but
enough.
yeah, I remember that part where the other lawyer was an idiot.
Yeah, I like that part. Yeah. But that movie was on TV a lot. That's where I always watch it. So fair enough. It's hard to avoid. But yeah, Babe, I give this like a 7 out of 10. What were you saying? You were just trying to pick a movie that you knew I didn't see that was a kids movie?
Yeah.
Why did you watch this in 2006?
I don't know. Oh, I think it was like free or something. I saw it like when I signed up for Vudu or.
Oh.
It might have been a few years later. I don't remember. It was like, or when I first got my Blu-ray player or something. Like when you connected it to the internet. It was like 2009. I don't remember. I forget. It was on there. It was on Netflix or something. I don't remember. But I watched it and I was like, oh, this is alright.
I feel. Yeah, it was an alright movie. It's just not something that I like feel like watching, really.
Right.
But I give it a 7. It's still a good movie.
Right.
So that shall do it for that. And I guess we shall talk about our event.
Yeah, hold up, wait. But I wanted to ask you.
What?
In my head, I remember it feeling like a fairy tale or like a Tim Burton movie or something. Does it not have that feel? Am I misremembering it?
I mean, I didn't really get like Tim Burton-y fairy tale feel, and like me personally, I didn't feel that way. To me, it just felt like felt like Charlotte's Web kind of type of thing. Like, to me.
Stop comparing it to Charlotte's freaking
I'm
Web.
sorry, there's a pig in that movie. I can't help it. No, I'm just saying it feels like I wouldn't say it. I feel like you might be mixing it up a little bit because it's. Well, I don't know. The farmer and his wife. There's some. When you see like the adults, it kind of feels like a little more fantasy. I feel.
Yeah.
With just like their dialogue and their over the topness and things like that. Like I said, the farmer does get up and do like a jig. It's really cringe, but dude, it even says in here the farmer dances a jig for him, and I just said the word jig. It's a joke, but
Okay.
Yeah.
What'd you give it?
7.
Okay. All right. What else?
That is it for my blind spot. So we shall get into our Halloween night.
All right. So Halloween night. This year. So for those of you who don't know, we might have explained this before, but what do we do for Halloween?
All right. So what we do is we are a group of friends, and we are all assigned to pick a movie that shall impress the group. And it must be a movie that we have never seen before, and we hope that they all have never seen before. And the goal is to just pick a movie that's gonna, play well to the group and be a good movie and be something like a little bit unique, not like you don't want to play Halloween 78, that's boring. Like it's gotta be a little bit unique and just kind of a hit with the group and something they've never seen before. So we each pick one, you, me, this year Austin did. Our friend Matt unfortunately couldn't make it this year because of work, but he usually would participate if he could have. So in total it was just like us 3, we each picked a movie. And then we also have a movie that we start out with, which is a classic film, so it could be like Child's Play, Halloween, Friday the 13th, and anything like that that's old and we're all well aware of. And then the last movie that we watch is a brand new movie. So from the year 2020, we would pick a movie. And that was kind of hard this year, but I think it came around. We luckily found a movie that had just come out that was a good one to watch. So in total, you have 5 moves. And we all present our move, and then at the end we decide which one we thought was the best. And we invited other friends to this as well who didn't participate in the movie picking, just to, make it more fun, more of a party type setting. But yeah, so we started at 1, or we started at 2. I think I went and
yeah, it went by
super
smooth though. Like it didn't drag at all. It felt good. I think I only got tired at one point. It was Uzumaki. I started getting a sleepy feeling, but then we got more guests came, so it was good. Anyway, we started with what?
Children of the Corn, 1984.
Right, 1984, Children of the Corn. This was a absolute classic that I love. I thought it was a great opener.
I did too. I always think oh, that's not one of my favorites, but every time I watch it, I enjoy it a lot. It's just not one that I always rewatched or anything. I didn't really watch it growing up too much, so it's not really that nostalgic for me, but it's a really good movie, and I think it's a great one to watch with friends. And it was a great setting, that sort of middle of the nowhere setting, I think is good for Halloween vibes. So that was definitely fun. And then after that, whose pick was it? Your pick? No, it was Austin's pick.
Or Austin went first. Yeah, so this was a little bit of a mistake. Austin originally picked WNUF Halloween Special, but then he realized I watched it a week out because we did it on 22 shots. and he had to scramble and find something on Shudder because he didn't know if he'd get it in the mail in time, if he had ordered something, so he went with effects. Now, he made a good pick, but he just didn't, I didn't know that until later, because his pick was actually a smart pick, but he didn't tell us anything. I don't even know if he knows. When I was recording 22 Shots, Dave told me that movie was just released like back in 2012 or something.
Really?
Yeah, like it was like considered like a lost film or something like that.
Wow.
Or like it just never got a release. Like it was made in the late 70s or whatever, and just I think it came out in like small festivals or something like that. But I don't think it was.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I was wondering like why I'd never heard of it even, because you know it has Tom Savini, it's got all these Pittsburgh people, Joe Pilato is that his name?
Oh, sorry, it was filmed in 1978, but wasn't released until October 2005. It's a 2005 movie.
No. Wait, does that count? No. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I'll have to tell Austin, because it was a good pick. The movie, I feel like, you know, didn't play super well with an audience, because it's one of those movies where like not a lot feels like it's happening, but I was kind of into it honestly, like from the start, and I like Joe Pilato and, you know, Tom Savini, and I like the whole Pittsburgh setting. You know, they're all wearing like Steelers shirts, and there's mentions of Pittsburgh and like, you know, mentions the Night of the Living Dead and things like that. So I thought that was interesting, and the plot was pretty cool. That's one I would like to go back and rewatch by myself.
Well, it
also
does have a Blu-ray from AGFA, which is the American Film or American Genre Film Association, which is the same company that released the McPherson tapes.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, they put out a lot of cool like lost stuff. Like they're the ones that put out Scary Movie from '91 too, as well as Wicked World, which Dave hated.
But yeah, I thought the movie was cool. Did you like the movie?
Yeah, it was okay. I didn't love it, but I thought it was okay.
Yeah, like I feel like my rating could probably go up on it if I rewatched it.
It just didn't play well with a group. That's one if I watched by myself, I would have much liked more.
Yeah, it even had like, it was clearly filmed like in the fall time, maybe like November, so it had that cool feel to it because there was like leaves all over the floor, all over the ground. Yeah, the floor.
After that was my pick, and this year I decided to go with something that, because like the whole point of this is to try to pick something that's gonna, like, I say it all the time, you want to basically pick the greatest movie ever that nobody's seen. You're never gonna hit that mark, but where you land while shooting for that mark is what matters. So you go for the best movie, the funniest movie, the goriest movie, the like most impressive, the most obscure, like all that stuff. But you know where you land is gonna be so probably far away from there. The first couple years I tried to go with something like serious that was just gonna blow us away, and it never has. So this year I decided to go with something that was just ridiculous. And when this got announced last year, Jeremy actually seen the world premiere of this. I knew that this was going to be my pick way back then, when it came to disc. And it is Tammy and the T-Rex, the gore cut. So this movie was released as a, I think, PG-13 film back in the 90s. Came out in 1993. Essentially, and this is like right up this marathon's alley. So was effects. We just didn't realize it. You know, because I don't know if Austin did any research on that or not.
No, I don't think
he
did.
But he didn't say anything, because it wasn't until afterwards where I was like, wow, this is making me appreciate that pick way more. I don't know if Austin listens to the show or not. Yeah, but Tanny, it was Tanny and the T-Rex originally.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But this movie was pretty much created because a dude owned a T-Rex animatronic. And he was like, hey, I have this T-Rex, like, we need to make a movie with it or something. Like, he didn't know what to do with it, so he made a movie with it. And they just wrote the movie. Yeah, and it was a PG-13 film. And it came out. It was literally a PG-13 film, and they cut out all the gore. They made like a horror film and cut it to a PG-13 and then released it. And years and years and years later, the footage for the gore version still exists. It stars Denise Richards as well as Paul Walker. And good old Vin Sin put it out on freaking 4K. It was fun, man. It played well with the group. It really did.
Yeah, it was funny. Like, it was just that freaking T-Rex walking around and that part where he goes to dial that phone number with his little hands. It's very funny.
Yep.
It was a fun.
Cool. I thought it was cool.
And it was super gory.
Yeah, really gory. Really fun. I really liked it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 1994, technically.
And it had John Franklin.
John Franklin. And we didn't even plan that.
Yeah, very weird, very weird.
Oh my god, and it has freaking George Buck Flower in it.
Who dat?
Who's George Buck Flower?
Yes, who is that?
He's an actor.
Okay, from what?
I don't know.
Oh. So it was a joke.
No, it's not a joke.
Why'd you bring it up then?
Because he's in everything that I watch. And
Oh.
like, I know who he is, but, like, I never notice him in the movies. And I only know who he is because, like, you know how, like, Letterboxd has the pay edition where you can pay for it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, on the pay edition of freaking Letterboxd, how do you say it? The stats stuff, right?
Yeah.
Well, on the pay edition, freaking George Buck Flower was my most watched film and my most watched actor. Like, if you take all my films that I've ever seen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why freaking Letterboxd is being annoying right now. If you take all the movies I've seen, you can see who you've watched. All the movies I've ever logged, you can see who is the most watched film person, the most watched actor you've seen, right?
Yeah.
And for, like, last year, my number one was George Buck Flower with 18 films, and Tom Savini was at 18, and Tony Todd was at 18, and Lance Henriksen was at 19, and 18. Tony Todd was at 18, Lance Henriksen was at 18, Tom Savini was at 18, George Buck Flower was at 18, Kane Hodder 18, Lin Shaye 18. And then through the course of this year, I managed to put Tony Todd to 19 and Lance Henriksen to 19, and George Buck Flower was at 18. Now George Buck Flower is going to be tied for number one again. I'm just sick of... I'm like, why is my most watched actor of all time, or, you know, since I've been logging films, which is 2011, George Buck Flower. I don't even know who it is. You know?
Saying that stupid name.
Like, which one doesn't belong? Bill Moseley, Linnea Quigley, Brad Dourif, Lin Shaye, Robert Englund, Kane Hodder, Tom Savini, Lance
George
Henriksen,
Buck Flower,
Tony Todd, George Buck Flower. Like, it's so weird.
That is weird. That is weird.
Here's a list of movies I've seen with George Buck Flower. Puppet Master: The Legacy, Wishmaster, The Damned.
Of course.
What?
They're all, like, movies that, of course, you wouldn't know which actor he is.
Tammy and the T-Rex, Body Bags, Warlock the Armageddon, Waxwork 2, 976 Evil 2, Puppet Master 2, Sorority Babes and the Slime Bolorama, Back to the freaking Future, The Fog, Ilsa Keeper the Oil Sheiks, Ilsa Harm Keeper of the Oil Sheiks, The Witch Who Came from the Sea, and Ilsa She-Wolf of the SS.
Yeah, see, he's probably like a background character in every single one of those movies. Like, that's like Derek level. That's like when Derek's like, oh, you know who so-and-so is. He played the janitor in freaking Howling 6, and he played the principal in Scream 4. Like, I don't know. Just, like, always just kind of that background guy that you would never think, like, oh, yeah, that's him.
Yeah, it's just funny, because, like, out of all those people, it's like, that's the...
Stupid. It's just like George Buck Flower.
Yeah. My most watched movie is Jaws.
Damn. That's
Jaws,
cool.
Basket Case, Scream, and Children of the Corn. All with 6 times.
Jeez.
Yep. And then, of course, my most watched director was Wes Craven with 18 films. It will now be Dario Argento after I log these next 3.
Cool. Very cool, buddy.
But yeah, very cool to see all those stats. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, my total films, 2,124.
Jeez.
Yeah, pretty
A lot of moves.
Yeah, pretty crazy. And if you count rewatches, 2,620 movies I've watched since 2011 that I've logged.
Yeah.
There's been definitely a couple misses.
Yeah.
That I haven't logged. Anyway, continuing along, we both enjoyed Tammy and the T-Rex, the gore cut. And then we moved on to your pick.
Yeah, I picked Uzumaki, aka Spiral, from 2000. I just thought it had a weird sounding premise, basically about this town that gets, like, possessed or, you know, overtaken by the spiral obsession with just seeing spirals, whether it be, like, in your hair or a snail or, like, in your soup or just all this weird spirally crap. That's what they become obsessed with. But I think it completely failed, and I was sad.
It didn't fail. I think that it was a surprising pick from you, because it just didn't seem like something you would be interested in, like a Japanese weirdo movie. That doesn't seem like something you would pick.
Buddy, I like Japanese movies.
I don't know, buddy.
I'm a big Japanese.
Maybe you should try another tactic next year and pick a good move.
That is a good move!
No, I mean, like, but you didn't pick that because you thought it was going to be a great movie, did you?
I thought it was going to be, like, a cool, unique one. It wasn't
It
what
was
I,
a
like,
cool,
wanted.
unique one.
It didn't play it. I don't know. I thought it was going to be, like, creepy and, like,
Well,
disturbed.
that's what I said on 22 Shots. I said, after I told him that I made all the food myself, I told him that...
What? Buddy!
I told him that it didn't really...
Dude, I made, like, 1 million cookies that no one ate.
I told him that it didn't play well. I said that, you know, I was like, afterwards, I liked it more. Like, when I was thinking about, it was actually pretty cool. Like, it was a neat, weird movie. Like, especially with, like, all the snail people and, like, it was just weird, and, like, all the hair stuff. I really liked it, but it just isn't, it didn't play well in front of an audience.
What did they like the movie, or did they not?
Yeah, I think everybody thought it's a pretty cool movie. I think it's good, and I normally don't like those weirdo Japanese stuff, but it just didn't play well, you know? Like Hollowgate, but you can't, dude, you've done better than everybody. You had Hollowgate, which was a big hit, and you had Patrick Still Lives, which was a big hit. And honestly, even the one I gave you most shit for, Massacre at, what is it called?
Memorial Valley Massacre.
Memorial Valley Massacre was pretty entertaining as well.
Yeah. I am a hit.
You can't win them all.
You're right.
But I definitely think this was your least popular pick out of all the ones you picked.
I tried.
Doesn't it make you want to go really hard next year?
No, buddy. It makes me feel like a failure, because it's like, I feel like I picked all these goofy movies that you're saying are hits now all of a sudden, and everyone gives me shit for them, and then I was like, this year I'm going to pick a really serious, like, I'm going to really take this seriously, and I did, and you're all mad.
Alright, but yeah, then we moved on to the headliner. By the way, we had different people showing up throughout this thing. Austin, me, you were there the whole time. Then we had, you know, Andrew and his girlfriend show up, and then we had our friend Stephanie and her boyfriend show up, and then we had Carly's friend Kaylee show up. But it was a good turnout. Like, we made a bunch of different foods and stuff like that. I was very happy with the amount that was ate. You know, I didn't feel like we made over too much. and it was a good time. I enjoyed it. So the final film we went with, we didn't really know what to pick. Like, first we were going to do Antebellum, and then we heard that it wasn't that good, and then we were going to pick The Craft, and we heard it wasn't that good, not surprising, and then we picked, we were going to pick, wasn't there another one?
I don't think so. I think that was it.
Okay. So we ended up going with The Spell. Or, no, it's just Spell. I keep saying the, but it's just Spell.
Yeah. Spell. And this is one that we almost saw in theater.
Yes.
We were going back and forth on seeing this one or Come Play last week, so it was cool. We got to watch it on, what was it, Amazon. We rented it off of there.
Yeah, you paid for it.
Uh-huh. Against my will. So, yeah, pretty cool movie. This one, you know, it was about, the guy's dad dies, and so the family takes a plane.
Yeah, it's, where's it at? Like, Virginia or something?
Oh, God, I don't remember.
It's like West Virginia or Virginia. They're flying through, and they get in a plane crash, and the dude wakes up in this, like, old black woman's house, and she does some, like, voodoo stuff.
Yes. And it has some disturbing and gross moments in it, I must say.
Yeah, my only issue with it was I just didn't think that a lot of this stuff made sense. Like, I didn't understand, like, that gross moment that happens that made everybody cringe. Although it played really well, I just didn't understand why. You know, like, why the character did the stuff he did. So, that was the only problem I had. And then I don't know, I just didn't buy some of it.
Because he didn't want to...
What?
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 What'd you say you cut out?
You know, you cut out.
What'd you say you cut out? No, you cut
you
out.
cut out.
What? You cut out.
I didn't say anything. I said what to you.
No, you said something before that, though. Okay, whatever. I was saying that I think it's because there was a line said, and it would have made him get caught if he didn't do what he did.
I don't know, Mike.
There literally is a line, because when that scene happened, my friend had showed up, and I told you guys to pause it, and then you rewound it, and when you rewound it, I was like, oh, that's why he's doing that, because I heard the line. It was literally a direct line saying, like, oh, we better check his blah, 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 see if it's still blah, blah, blah.
If you say so.
I do say that.
If you say so.
This is why you give this movie a lower score than me. That one scene.
No, there was some other stuff too. I just thought it was questionable character motivations and decisions. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I can't remember the movie all that much, honestly. It was like sensory overload at that point. But no, I thought it was a really good movie, and it did play well in front of the group. Everybody was into it.
Mm.
Like, nobody was looking at their phones and stuff. Like, everybody was watching the movie.
Yeah, it was probably the best movie of that. Well, I mean, Children Around the Corner was great too, of course, but
yeah, I think we voted this one the best, but in terms of the picks, I think mine won.
Yeah, buddy, it did.
Yeah.
You did good.
Thank you. I actually have a great pick lined up for next year already.
Really?
Yep. I'm really good. Like, I really have, like, every year when I do this, I have like 7 movies I want to pick.
I don't.
I know, you guys struggle while I have too many.
Like, I feel like, because I'm always thinking, like, you probably watched them all or something, I don't know.
Well, honestly, like, my Letterboxd is a very good indication of if I've seen it. I mean, I've been logging film since 2011.
Alright, buddy, I shall check next time.
Alright, so, yeah, I gave that one a 7.5 out of 10.
I gave it an 8.5.
Woof.
What do you mean, woof? I hate that. I hate that noise you do. Woof. Are you a dog? Woof. Woof. I just hate it.
Is that it? Do we have more?
No. Well.
Oh, well, we had an encore this year. I've already planned on calling it this since we started this. An encore, but we never did it before, I don't think. Which was the 6th film. We went with Slumber Party Massacre because I wanted to see some boobs.
You're stupid, dude. See, I didn't really pay attention to it that much, and I wish I did, because I thought it was a fun move, it looked like.
You've seen it before, right?
No.
What?
I've never seen the movie, that's what I'm saying.
Wait, didn't we watch this in the drive-in before?
Slumber Party Massacre?
Yeah.
No. Which drive-in? When?
Was it... What?
We never saw him. We never saw it.
No?
No.
I could have sworn I seen this in the drive-in or the
Buddy,
theater.
don't make me look dumb. No, we never saw this, buddy. I swear. Maybe it was like playing at the drive-in and we didn't like watch it. We didn't make it to that move or something, or we didn't go that night. We didn't watch it. You're confusing it with another movie. I just don't. Yeah. You're thinking of You're thinking of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, buddy.
Why would I be thinking of
Because of Massacre. I promise I've never seen this movie.
Why did I watch it then? I watched it recently.
Well, we definitely didn't see it recently. If you're thinking we saw it, like, are you trying to look up all the drive-in events or something right now? Because
yeah,
we definitely.
I'm looking up.
I pinky promise we never saw this move, but it was.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I lied on 22 shots. I'm gonna have to delete my channel.
Are you serious, dude?
Yeah, I said that we've seen this in the theater before, the drive-in before. Because they're like, I think they asked if you watched it before or something.
I hate when you tell things about me that aren't true on the pod and I can't jump in and interject. You should let me like be on Skype when you guys are doing your show and just sit there, and if you say something incorrect, I can jump in and say, well, actually, no, this is what happened.
Yeah, well, okay, so, what was I going to say? Yeah, you know, it's a good movie. It's a slasher directed by a feminist. I gave like I'm pretty good at emceeing these events because I gave a little backstory on the movie and stuff like that, with the director being a feminist and working with Roger Corman and putting out this movie, which a lot of people thought was, you know, like people like Siskel and Ebert who say like these movies are women in danger, chauvinistic, like what's the other word I'm looking for?
Pig.
Yeah, like that, and like sexist, and there's another word. It starts with an M or something. I don't remember. I forget, but you know they say they're those type of movies, and the you know she kind of made the movie with the killer having the phallic drill and stuff like that. I thought it's pretty cool, but I love the cover. It's awesome. I think it's a cool movie. There's some funny comedy beats in there. So
yeah, I didn't I was like kind of not paying much attention to it.
Could have sworn you've seen this before.
No, buddy. I want to go back and watch it though now. Yeah, so we watched that, and then for the last, then we kind of just hung out and we put on that documentary on Shudder for a little bit. I forget what it's called. History of Horror? No, not History of Horror. That one that was really long.
It's Eli Roth's History of Horror.
That is what it is? Okay.
I think so. Oh, no,
No, the one we watched.
We put on In Search of Darkness.
Yeah, that.
Which I want to finish watching. It's 4 hours, but I was into it.
Yeah, I was too. I like that. So we put that on till the end, and then everyone was tired, so that was it. That was the night. And then I ate leftover pizza bagel bites with ghosts on them the next day.
Yeah. So yeah, overall, I think that this year's lineup wasn't as good as past years.
No, it wasn't.
But I still had a lot of fun. Every year can't be a slam dunk, but it was still really fun at the end of the day, and I look forward to doing it again next year.
Yeah, me too.
So, yeah, that's our Halloween. Next year, next week, I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do. But I think we should probably get back onto the 2020 movies. Yeah. Because I need every excuse to watch 2020 movies in we might even be a little bit more selective and not pick stuff that just comes out each week, because I actually want to start getting to some of these good movies. So, oh, you know what? I already picked what we're gonna do.
What?
We are going to do the new Brian Barkino, or whatever the hell his name is, Barkino film, The Dark and the Wicked, which Jeremy just watched it.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's called The Dark and the Wicked, and it is the guy who made The Strangers, Mockingbird, and The Monster.
Alright.
So, yeah, we'll do that next week.
Alright. Sounds good.
Alright, I think it's available to rent on Amazon.
Alright, cool. I shall rent it.
With that said, we will see you guys next time with another one. Peace out.
Peace.